Hey, welcome to Tracy Thrives at Home. I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm sharing a major transformation of our dining room, and if you love a good before and after, this one's for you. You know those spaces that slowly turn into clutter zones? Well, our dining room has become a bit of a catch-all lately with all of the projects I have been working on. At this point, it's barely functioning as a place to sit and have a meal. And with the outdated lighting and dark cluttered decor, I knew it was time for a change, but I also didn't want to spend a ton of money. So I got creative and focused on ditching the dark rug, the outdated shelving and clutter, and updating the lighting and decor, all affordable changes that were very impactful. I'm so excited to take you along for the process. Let's jump right in. The first order of business was the lighting. This chandelier came with the house, and we have never felt it suits our style or tastes. We've always wanted something different, and I knew this one small change would make a big difference. We have an open floor plan that is basically one long rectangle, with the dining room area sitting in between the living room and kitchen, and it isn't all that big, so having a chandelier fixture in here feels unnecessary and crowded. So we chose to replace it with a glass and matte black semi-flush fixture that feels much more modern and clean. The lower profile also helps to make the room feel a little taller and more open, which is exactly what I was going for. After we got the lighting up, I got to work on removing all the clutter from the floor and around the table. Side note, a few of these items were relocated to the garage, which I will be doing a major reorg and overhaul to very soon. Once all that clutter was removed and out of the way, I had room to push the table and chairs to the side so that I could get to the rug and the rug pad. Although I love this rug so much, it isn't the right color or size for the space, so I pulled it out and instantly it's lighter and brighter in here. Holy cow, our table, our rug, and the living room light, they're all so heavy, especially this rug. I definitely underestimated how heavy this rug would be. I guess it's been a while since I've moved this furniture piece and cleaned behind it. Luna was very happy though because she got a couple of new toys. Moving on to the next change in here, I wanted to give the dining room table a little bit of an update by painting the two middle legs a matte black that would match our dining room chairs and make it look more like a set. After giving each leg a really good sanding, I made sure to clean them off really well and then went in with some painter's tape to help protect the tabletop. I found this little can of matte black oil-based paint from the Rust-Oleum brand for just under $13. I ended up applying 2 coats of the paint, waiting 24 hours between the 2 coats. I highly recommend, if you're going to use an oil-based paint, that you make sure to wear a mask or ventilate the space very well. I had all the windows open, the fan and air purifier going, and no children or animals were present. One thing I would definitely do differently if I could go back is use a bigger paintbrush, especially on the actual legs. I just think that overall the paint would have applied a little bit more evenly and the whole process probably would have gone a little bit faster. I have at least half of the can of paint remaining, so this was a very inexpensive change that makes a huge difference in here, and I'm so glad I did this. I just love this table so much, and holy cow, it ties in so nicely with the other black accents in the room. Alright, the next thing I did to this room was to take down these black shelving units. We have had these IKEA shelves for so long, and they've been in our bedroom and dining room at this point and have definitely served their purpose. But they really darken up the space and take up more room than they look like they do. So I pulled all the decor and books and knickknacks down and uninstalled them. We do have some sentimental items up here, photos, sand from our trips to Jamaica and Mexico, and some other souvenirs. So I will be trying to figure out a different way or place to display some of these items, maybe even in another area of our home. I'm just not sure yet. Because I had the goal of opening up and brightening the space, I decided to bring a mirror in, since a mirror is a great way to help make a space feel larger, especially if you're working with a room that has no or small windows. So I took this piece of painter's tape and marked where the holes for the mirror will go, and then using it figured out where I wanted the mirror to be placed onto the wall. I used the ceiling light fixture as sort of my guide for the center of the room and made sure that the center of the mirror was lined up with that light. Then eventually I will place the table centered underneath the light and everything should line up nicely. And once I had that figured out, I placed pieces of tape on the wall in the general shape of the mirror just to help me visualize what it would look like once it was up on the wall, and then also to help me decide where it should be placed height-wise. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but as I was drilling the hole for the drywall anchor, I ran up against something in the wall, so you can kind of see me drilling a few holes above and below it to see if it continued, and it did. Since I wanted to keep the mirror lined up with the ceiling light, I knew I could not move the mirror to the left or to the right, so instead I had to order some claw drywall hooks, and I waited until the next day to install the mirror. On this side of the room here, we have this big blank wall and a fairly decent sized table, so I wanted a mirror that was large enough to complement both. I found this 3-foot by 4-foot mirror on Amazon right around $100. I think the mirror may be my favorite change in here, just because it brings in so much light and dimension to the room, bounces the light around, and it just makes the space feel more open and finished. Moving over to the opposite side, or the opposite wall of this room, we've had this small shelf forever that we've been using to store shoes, and then on top of that we had some fabric bins for more shoes and book bags and things like that. The area had definitely turned into a bit of a dumping zone, and it was time to declutter and get that cleaned up and moved out of my dining room. We also have this open bookshelf on this wall that is working just fine for us, but is looking cluttered, so I am decluttering and cleaning, and then I reorganized what I wanted to stay, reconfigured how I had the decor, and I think it's looking much better. And the final steps of this project are all about functionality. Since I removed the rug, I wanted to make sure that the floor would be protected, so I found these chair feet pads to put onto my dining chairs. They are pretty cool because they come far enough up the leg that they also protect my newly painted table legs from getting banged up by the metal chairs. I also added these ball casters to the bottom of a large plant pot that I had found at the Dollar Tree. We have this beautiful money tree plant that just keeps growing and desperately needs to be repotted. So I found this pot, and adding the casters to the bottom of it will make it so much easier to move around when I need to clean, and also when I want to move the plant close to our back patio window. With all the big updates done, I needed to bring back in some decor to the space, and I had this vase and florals and lantern in our living room, so I brought those in, as well as some other pieces I already had on hand. I do want to add in some wall decor, and I have a couple of fun DIY ideas in mind for wall art, so definitely subscribe so you don't miss that video. But for now, I am very happy with how the space feels, so much more open and functional, and totally reflects the energy I want in our home. Thanks so much for spending your precious time with me today and for coming along for this dining room transformation. I really hope this video gave you some motivation or inspiration for your own space. I'd love to know in the comments, what's your favorite update in this room? I always love hearing from people. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I have more makeovers, DIYs, and real-life homemaking content coming soon. See you next time, friends. Bye!